everyone, it's Allie, and in today's video I'm going to show you 5 ways to fill your sketchbook. It's been quite a while since I've made one of these videos, but today I have 5 new ideas for you guys and I hope you like them. So let's get started. My first idea is to draw an abstract landscape. So I took out my pencil and I drew some just random curvy weird lines on top of one another that kind of resembled mountains. And after it was all sketched out, I took out my Artsy paint markers. My color scheme was completely random. I literally just took the first color I saw and started coloring in the first line. With my markers, I blocked in each section with the colors I chose. My color scheme was completely random, but if you wanted to, you could definitely pick like lighter greens fading to dark greens and browns to make it look like more of an actual landscape. After blocking in the yellow section, I moved on to orange. I thought this idea would be pretty quick and easy, but it actually took quite a while for me to fill in these sections. After I was finished blocking in the orange, I moved on to my red marker, and I guess it sort of looks like a rainbow, but that's definitely not what I was going for. I was literally just choosing these markers at random and coloring with whatever marker I felt like. I tried to use markers that I didn't really use that often and that I wanted to try out. After the red, I moved on to the blue. In my set, there are actually like 3 blue markers that look pretty similar. I think this was the medium hue, but I can't remember. After I finished blocking in this section with the blue paint marker, I moved on to the last one, which I painted with the turquoise color. And after I'd finished coloring in with the turquoise, I felt like something was missing. So I took out both my black and my white paint marker and I started adding just lines and details everywhere. In 2 different sections, I added lots of squiggly lines, and in the others, I added stripes and little dots. I feel like this whole process made it look a lot more interesting and more abstract. I definitely like it a lot better than how it looked before. And I feel like this sketchbook idea is extremely easy to do and super fun and will look great no matter how you do it. So this idea is perfect for beginners. And here's how the finished page turned out. Now moving on to the second sketchbook idea, a doodle of a city. So I flipped to the next page of my sketchbook and took out 3 different sizes of my fine liners. My larger one, I made lots of random rectangles all throughout the page. After I had done that, I took out my medium-sized marker and I started making different sizes of windows in each of the rectangles, which are the buildings. After I drew all the windows, which a lot of them looked extremely wonky, I took out my smallest size pen and I started adding little details to add some texture to all of the buildings. This step was really fun and it just added a whole lot more interest to this page. A lot of these lines are super wonky and are not perfect by any means, but I still like how this page turned out. And after I finished adding all the rest of the details, this page was done. So here's how it turned out. Now moving on to the next idea is abstract circles. So I took out my watercolor and I started making lots of random circles all throughout the page. I varied both the size and color of the circles. I tried to stick with a blue or green color scheme. I just added the circles all throughout this page. After all the circles were colored in, I took out my black paint marker, and I did a messy outline over all the circles. None of these outlines are perfect, and I really wanted them to overlap with one another and not fully cover each of the circles. And after that was done, I rounded all the edges of the circles, and it kind of gave it this bubble effect. I don't know, it kind of looks like soapy bubbles to me, but that's just my opinion. This whole process was super fun and relaxing, and I enjoyed rounding all these harsh edges and corners. I have no idea what this style or art technique is called, but it was really fun to do. And after that was all complete, this page was done. So here's how it turned out. My fourth idea is to swirl paint. So first I took out my washi tape and I blocked off the edges and corners of my sketchbook. After that, I put random blobs of paint all over the page. Using many different colors, I put the paint dots all over my sketchbook. I really wanted to try out this art technique of swirling the paint, and this is my first time doing it. It did not turn out perfect at all. So just keep in mind, this is not a tutorial. This is me trying it out for the first time too. Even though it did not turn out great, I still really want to try it again, so I probably will in the future, and maybe that will turn out a lot better. Next, I took out my large paintbrush and I just started swirling the paint. At first, it started looking really cool, and then my paintbrush just started muddying all the colors, and it turned out terrible. I mean, it looks good now, but the more I kept swirling it and swirling it and swirling it, just kept looking worse. So off camera, I tried to fix it a little bit. I don't know if I did. And then I also tried to add like more paint, but the brush was just so muddy. I did end up washing it out, and then I did fix it up off camera, but it didn't really look that good. Anyway, I took off the washi tape and I decided to add random details to help it look better with my Artsy paint markers. I don't know if it helped, but it definitely did make this page look a lot more interesting. Even though this idea did not look perfect by any means, I still had a lot of fun doing this. I tried to use the same colors that I did for the paint that I originally swirled around, and after I added just random circles and lines and dots, this page was done. So here's how it turned out. Now let's move on to the fifth and final idea of today. Draw triangles. This idea was very last minute. I knew I wanted to make a 5 ways to fill your sketchbook video, but I had no idea what to do for the fifth idea, and I had to think of one, so I just settled on draw triangles. So I took out my Posca pens, which I should not have used them on this paper because it just ate away at the paper, and it was really difficult to work with these Poscas on this. But I just drew triangles everywhere. I stuck with the blue-green color scheme, and I did about 3 triangles per color. Then I was running out of blues and greens, so I did switch over to my Artsy paint markers at the very end. Honestly, it was relaxing just trying to fill this page with triangles. But I haven't used my Poscas in a while, so a lot of them were very watery and kind of exploded on me. I mostly blame myself because I did not shake my Poscas before using them, and it has been quite a while since I've taken them out. Here is right where my dark Posca spilled on me, and then I tried to take a paper towel and soak up all the extra paint, and it just left the triangle looking really messy. I suppose I could have just taken some extra time to try to fix this up, but I really didn't care that much about this page, so I just left it as it is. But all these sketchbook ideas are perfect for beginners. Anyway, here's how the final page turned out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.